Hey, folks, welcome back to another episode of Artist Stories of Middle Georgia. I'm your host, Victor Rigoli, back in the studio here doing a podcast. Got a wonderful guest on the show today, Jaey Fawkes. Jaey, thank you so much for being on the podcast. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate it. It's really
Yeah,
exciting to be here.
thank you so much. I'm going to share with you guys a little bio about Jaey. Jaey has done photography for just over 25 years and has explored multiple art mediums such as music, painting, drawing, does woodworking, and also gardening. He started on film and then moved to digital when he graduated high school and continues to focus on these mediums as well as capturing drone footage. Most of his art consisted of landscape and wildlife photography until most recently expanding beyond that with his main exhibit, The Veil, which is currently in Theater Making Lobby. So please go down there and check that out. It's a portrait series to help him work through CPTSD. Now he's learning how to use what he's learned to help others who might struggle with similar feelings and conditions. But thanks again, Jaey, for being on the podcast. We're going to delve into some of that stuff there, folks. But where does your story begin?
Oh man, well, with art, it was I just started out young. It was always tinkering around. I was always a bit more mental growing
Uh-huh.
up, so I just
Okay.
needed an outlet. And it started out with drawing and painting. I actually do a lot of cooking too, baking
Oh,
with my mom and things. So
good.
it shifted from food to art just to kind of do something on my own that I didn't really need as much supervision with.
Yeah.
And yeah, around 10, I started shooting with like point and shoot cameras, those old throwaway
Oh,
things.
oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my mom would buy me one and she would give that one to me so that nobody else could touch it. And that was just my camera for whatever
Right.
trip or whatever thing we were doing. And then in high school, I started in on film and just helping other students work through their film and their artwork for school. And high school, my mother gifted me a film camera, and I kind of kept that going for a little bit and then shifted into digital right at the same time. So I've been doing digital since, and it's been mostly, like you said, landscapes and wildlife. I do a lot of my work out in Montana and
And we have
was
some
for,
pictures we're going to show folks just to jump in here. Sorry, Jay,
no, you're
that
good.
some of your photography. So hang on, it's coming. So good.
But
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of work out in Montana and just anywhere that I had some friends that I would go and visit to check in on. I would
Okay.
hang out with them and shoot it up wherever we are, and I'd rather take pictures wherever we are, and then I'd use that as my portfolio work. So, and now it's just what I do. It's just a part of life, you know.
Right. 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 It's all part of that. Now you're now in Macon, Georgia, but you're not from Macon, Georgia originally. Is
No,
that correct? Right. Right.
correct.
So
Yeah, I'm
you
from Jacksonville, Florida.
Jacksonville. Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah. Because you and I met. Actually, folks, I was collecting my artwork from theater making, and Jay was coming in with his photography artwork and getting things set up for the show that's going on right now. So another plug is get down to theater making, go see a play, but also go down and check out his
Please.
fantastic, yeah, fantastic photographs. I mean, these things are blown up huge and they're so unique and interesting. And I was just, overwhelmed with the photographs. And it's like, oh my gosh. And I said, I got to get this guy on the podcast. So yeah, here we are today. Yeah, this is great. So did you grow up in Jacksonville
Yeah,
area?
yeah.
Okay.
Grew
Okay.
up in Jacksonville
Okay.
and had been there. Even coming to Macon was a little bit just a series of blessings that worked out. We were looking to leave because me and my wife both were dealing with just things, triggers around town.
Right.
And so we
Right.
ended up leaving, and we had a bunch of places picked out that we were just looking. And, we were put here, it felt like, and it's been beautiful since. It's been really nice group of people here. And Macon's helped me a lot because, coming in from nowhere, it's been 2 years, just over 2 years.
2 years now. Okay.
Yeah, and everyone that we've gotten to meet has scooted us a little bit forward in whatever direction. And it's just every
Awesome.
step has been a lot of blessings, and
That's awesome.
really appreciate making for that. It's been really
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. That's great. That's great. Yeah. Leaving an area for whatever reason, and moving, just packing up and going, and you're in a new area, it can be a major adjustment. Could be a lot of anxiety and things like that as well, dealing with that. But you'll find, if you haven't found already, and you said it's been like 2 years or
Yeah.
so, yeah. Great art community here
Hmm.
in the Middle Georgia area. That's one reason why I do this, and folks that are regular subscribers and viewers of the podcast and everything know that, because there's so many wonderful photographers out there, and also, artists that do mixed medium or whatever it is that they use. And, there's a lot of other talented people here, musicians and poets and writers and stuff like that, that in down the road, and it may be a while because I want to get through the artists and the photographers first, branching out in reaching that audience as well.
Right.
So, but yeah, it's a great community, and I'm glad things are, working out for you.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah. So, what is, you talked about doing landscapes and wildlife and everything. So how did that come to be? I mean, what inspired you to say, "Wow, I love this little landscape here. I want to take photos of that"? Because some people might want to do just still life photography or portrait photography.
Yeah.
Right.
So whenever I was younger, I used to really huge fan of Bob Ross, like a lot
No,
of
yeah.
people.
Yeah.
And there's an episode where he talks about his paintings, and he says that a lot of the pictures that he paints, he's gotten from actual images that people have sent in, photographs.
Right.
That even if you couldn't paint well, you could still go out and take pictures. And I I remember being elated whenever I heard it, because I was not that great at painting at the time. So I was like, oh, I can grab a camera and walk around and take pictures of creation. That's an easy. I don't have to do the work for the hard part. It's just being there.
Yeah.
And so it kind of started, and I was big into Ansel Adams whenever I had started into film, and in high school, and things, whenever I could like really delve into these different pieces of inspiration. Ansel Adams really stuck. And I've not been out to Yosemite, but that also kind of started the push to travel. I used to skateboard, and there's skate spots that we would go to, and the skate spots are next to these beautiful landscapes. So I would go skateboarding with my friends, and then I would go do photography with a couple of them that were interested. So
Yeah. Take the camera along,
yeah,
and hopefully have a good landscape or something that you could take a photo of. So you're pretty much self-taught, right?
yeah.
Okay. Now, it's almost like painting too. I admire people that take some beautiful photography, because in a way, it's become easy for them. At least it appears that way, to me, because it's more than just a point and click, right? So there's all kinds of
Yeah.
settings and things like that you have to do with your camera. And I have a digital camera, and I'm not good at it. So maybe one day I'll have to get with you and say, hey, I
Yeah.
want, because I like to take, photos and use them as references for paintings as well. Most of the time I'm using my cell phone, because I can't figure out the digital camera. Sometimes the cell phone takes better photos. But I want to get better with that. So maybe we'll have to get together, and I
Yeah.
come
Look,
to
I
your
want to get
house
better
or
at
something like
painting.
that. Yeah. Yeah.
We can certainly
And we'll
trade it.
kind of collaborate or something, and just
Yeah.
learn from each other. And that's the beauty of all this too. And as you probably have seen, and as you hit the, are you a member of 478 Creatives?
I'm not.
You're not? Okay.
No.
That may be something you want to look into through the Making Arts Alliance. There's a couple, Kara Hurd and Aaron Hawkins, that created that. And it's where a lot of creatives in the Middle Georgia area get together.
Yeah, I was
There's
just actually learning
photographers
about
and
their
artists. Yeah.
yeah, they
A
had
lot of
their
great
5
things.
years, I think, just
Sure
recently,
did.
and I got to go
Yeah.
and see that, and that was
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah. Um, But yeah, they do a lot for the community and bringing creatives together. And the beauty of that is we, have conversations with these people and we learn from each other. We find out what their strengths are and says, "Ooh, I need to talk more with this individual and maybe learn from them on how to do something. Maybe it's, painting, maybe it's watercolor, maybe it's mixed media, maybe it's photography." So that's a beauty of having a community like that, I think, and especially like with 478 Creative. So plug there for
Yeah.
Kara and Aaron. So I may have to put something in the show notes and little hashtag or something for them and shout out for them. But yeah, so you've got the show going on right now. That's going to be down there, what, a couple months or so,
Yeah, it'll
roughly?
be taken
Yeah.
down for November, so all the way through to
Okay.
the end of October, it'll be
Okay.
up. And
Okay.
I think I'm switching a couple of pieces out in October, but
Okay.
for the most part, the show that's there is going to be the show, except for like two main pieces.
Okay. 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 Have you had any other shows in town?
Yeah, actually, I got to connect with Colin, and last year we were able to do. I was featured with two other artists in June at the 567, and then in January they hosted me as my own exhibit. That
Solo.
was my
Yeah.
first.
Uh-huh.
Yep, and
Okay.
it was the Veil actually.
Oh, okay.
So that
Okay.
was the first time that I had shown the work.
Shown that. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. Fantastic. Fantastic. So that's good getting that exposure and everything because you don't do this full time. You still have a full time job, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And uh, could I say that that is the ultimate goal is to move in that direction to where your photography
Oof.
is full
It
time?
would be nice, but I think that it's more about accepting the blessings as they come. I don't want
Right.
to force too much. So if it happens that way, great.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the goal is
Yeah.
to just kind of live peacefully.
Y- There's yeah, there's a lot of truth to that. Yeah, it sure is. And just let happen,
Yeah,
And
right.
so let's talk a little bit. I mean, if you're open to that, you have had some experiences in your life, and you mentioned, and I mentioned it in your bio about the CPTSD,
Yeah.
um, and how you've learned from that. And what you hope to do is helping others that might be experiencing some of the same feelings or struggles. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, PTSD is just it's traumatic experiences, like a, a really easier way to think through the C on it is that PTSD is like a moment where something happens and a traumatic event happens, and you're dealing with the effects of that traumatic event. Whereas the complex part is those things happening to you repeatedly
Mm.
over and over and over again. And so the
Hmm.
foundational thoughts that you would have stick more than dealing with the only experience. So your personality is kind of built around the the trauma happening repeatedly more
Hmm.
than just it
Hmm.
happening a time and moving on.
Hmm.
And it's been a very weird set of uh, just occurrences that the first that I had, I was being trafficked and sexually abused and uh, put up for prostitution as a child. And through some time, I just forgotten about it all and was working on myself just spiritually. And the year that I got baptized, it was like 3 months or so afterwards. All of a good portion of memories flooded back, and it
Kind of
was
came back. Yeah.
yeah, it was like a
Hmm.
crazy wave of
Yeah.
one wave of them,
Right.
and then that happened frequently, and it still
Hmm.
happens. But now, when I'm having triggers, I've used the series to kind of work through the triggers that I've had. So when
Hmm.
I have one, I set up a photo shoot, and there's masks involved, and I take it in the photos now instead of remembering the traumatic event that I'm flashing into. I end up using the photo as a reference to a point where I was working on that. So if I stub my toe and it causes something heavy to happen to where I will never forget it, and it's trauma. When I stub my toe, when I remember stubbing my toe, I do something creative at the same time so that the next time I'm dealing with the thought of stubbing my toe, it's also mixed with the thought of creativity.
Oh, okay.
And so when I have, because they're recurring, once I have
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
one flash, that flash
Mm-hmm.
keeps happening. And
Right.
so I will work through that flash. In some cases, I get the masks. I get a mask for each section of life that I'm dealing with a thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And every photo shoot has been a very specific occurrence of a thing that I was mentally dealing with that I put into it. So now I look at the picture and I can remember that moment. And the model also brings a good portion of their own experiences. And so instead of it being like I'm working on something for myself, it feels more like I'm choosing to help somebody else and talk through their, whatever it be,
Right.
trauma
Right.
or their experience or their life.
Right.
And we both end up walking away feeling better. And regardless if the model knows it or not or thinks of it that way, I know that in that moment we've created something that both of us can hold on to. And the
Right.
picture is a reminder of that. So
Yeah.
I can look up at them and work through whatever that traumatic experience was, thinking about how somebody else, in some cases, is giving me advice, like they've dealt with something similar, and tell me how they've gotten through it.
Right. Right.
Yeah, so that's kind of how it started with the masks, and
Okay.
now I'm trying to shift it into how to continue to help other people, because it's no longer about me. It's more about this collection of experiences and just really showing empathy and love to other people. You really just don't know what other people have experienced. Some of the things that have been relayed to me, I couldn't imagine. And I have my own history and things that I've dealt with, but they're mine. And hearing
Right.
somebody
Right.
else's is always extremely humbling. Like
Yes.
it's
Yes.
very humbling.
Right.
So it's taught me to kind of take my head out of my own situation a lot more.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Very therapeutic, would you say,
Yeah.
in working with the model and understanding where they're coming from and what they may have experienced, and working together and sharing your experiences and things and helping each other. Uh,
Yeah.
uh,
Cathartic.
mm,
Very cathartic.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's amazing. That's amazing. And y- I may want to go ahead and show some of your work, because and the reason why is I want you to talk about the models and the mask that they have,
Okay.
and who may have created the mask. Did you make those masks yourself, or did somebody else?
No,
Okay,
no. So,
okay. so
man,
so are you saying you're not that talented? Is that what
no,
you're
I
trying
mean,
to
I feel like I could try and have a good attempt, but the person that's making them, he does a really good job, and it was a fluke that I even got one from him to begin with. But it was some account on Instagram, and I just liked one of the ones he had, and now we actually have been working together to create the last like 3 or 4 of the masks. So,
Okay,
yeah, we could probably. I mean,
fantastic.
I could give you his info as well. He's actually in the Netherlands. So
Oh,
they're
wow.
yeah, he makes them by hand and then sends them to me every time I got a crazy ask.
Well, if you'd like to email that to me, that information, and I could
For
include
sure.
it in what I say, the description or show notes. So if somebody is interested in maybe going to their Instagram account or something like that, their name, their Instagram account, to find out more about them, because they're beautiful pieces of art in themselves.
Yeah.
When you think about it. So, all right, I'm gonna bring your work up here on the stage so we could talk a little bit about these, and these folks. Jay sent me several photos here, and I picked some that I thought were very interesting, and talked with Jay a little bit prior to our recording of this session here in this interview of just, talking a little bit about where these were taken and, what was going on. So, the one on the left there looks like some mountain rams or something.
Yeah, some bighorn sheep.
Okay, sheep. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about that one.
Yeah, that one's actually out in the middle of Yellowstone.
Okay.
Yeah, I was with a group of friends who knew somebody that was they have like a wolf program where they track the wolves, and she actually pretty much gave us a private tour through the middle of Yellowstone in the middle of winter. So
wow.
Yeah, we were actually on one side of the cliff bridge looking down onto another side of the mountain when these sheep were just making their way through. I took a few pictures of them, but this one kind of like it to me it captured really what was going on.
Right.
Because that one in the front is like really looking to see, because it was coming down. You can't really see it, but the snow was covering that side, and it was just really cool to see how they all trusted that leader. I actually named that one "Follow the Leader" because they went for quite some time just hanging out, trying to get through that little pass.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah. So and with the PTSD things, I use the landscapes too as I guess a memento to help as well. So a lot of these I have up around the house. And so instead of having pictures of people, I have pictures of memories with people. And so this is a memory that the friend of mine who I go out and see in Montana, he had been dealing with some things. We both kind of dealt with our own traumatic events at the same time and have just been close friends. We went to middle school together and just kind of clicked back up. And him and his friends that were out there, it was just a really nice thing that they did for me, just helping me to get out of, or more get into Montana and really get into the land.
Right.
Yeah. Fell in love with it out there.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
It's good to have friends like that, that kind of help us and, steer us in a direction sometimes that we may not know that we need to go. And are there to help us and guide us and everything. But yeah, I like that photo there. Let's talk a little bit about the one on the right. Where's that at?
The one on the right is actually in Glacier National Park. Yeah.
Okay.
Just because you asked.
Yeah.
It's in Glacier National Park. It's the first trip that I had where I was able to take my wife and my oldest son. My youngest is brand new baby. But my oldest, my wife and I went out, and we all have our own acrylic cliches from this trip.
Oh, wow.
Where each of us had a print. And this is my smaller one that I kept from that trip. I think we're on the St. Mary's side, going through Logan's Pass. And we were there for a week, and they had Logan's Pass closed. My son's name is Logan. We really wanted to take him through. And the very last day we were there, we met a family, and they said that they had just opened it that day. And so we, at the last minute, were able to cut through and get through the park and take him through the pass and just kind of hang out and explore a little bit before we came home. And this is actually one of the first ones that I've been trying to, I was leaning into landscapes taken in portrait, because phones have done a big deal with landscape photography to me. And now when people are holding it up like this, I kind of wanted something that I felt good about that would still fit me, but also the eyes of our viewers a little bit better. So this is one of the first ones that I for me, fell in love with. And I think it's more the memory, because we had a really great time going up and down the mountain, and just countless memories through that.
Oh, I bet. Yeah. Well, you triggered a thought here, and it might be a little off topic, but you were talking about phones and cell phones and how, the picture on the left is more of a landscape. The one on the right is, and the one on the right is more portrait. And you talked about how people use cell phones to take pictures. What is the best way to take a picture with your cell phone? Is it in a landscape mode? Because that's kind of the way I do it. I turn the phone sideways, and some people have the phone going up this way. But does it just depend on what you're trying to capture? Maybe.
Oh man, I think that it's more about what you want from it. Like
Yeah.
there's I I didn't like taking landscapes in portrait mode or portrait, just tilted it on its side type thing for quite some time until I started painting, and it was
Mhm.
easier to put the canvas portrait and knock down the rest of my stuff in the house. Took up
Gotcha.
a little bit less
Gotcha.
space, so I would
Yeah.
take a
Yeah.
picture
Okay.
in portrait and then go there, and it's really just your own taste. I
Okay.
think that
Okay.
everybody will say, "Oh, one thing or the other could be better," but really, it's just however you feel. If you like it,
Okay.
then
Okay.
it's
Okay.
great.
Yeah, I know with doing shorts on, I don't know if it's YouTube is this way. I mean, it needs to be more in a portrait mode than in a landscape mode.
Yeah,
So it fits the phone, because a lot of people watch shorts and things like that, videos using their phone. So, because I've tried to create some shorts and it was more of a landscape, and it just went into my video bucket instead of my shorts bucket. And I said, "Oh, I
yeah,
think it's because of the way my orientation, was off." So, but anyway, yeah,
yeah,
quite
and I
interesting stuff. Yeah.
yeah, it is. Yeah, and I've done like with the drone work, I kind of go back and forth sometimes because you can shoot in landscape and then like essentially reframe it to be portrait, but you're still losing stuff. And
Yeah.
truthfully, I
Yeah.
like the footage, so
Yeah.
I leave it whichever way I'm recording so that I
Hmm.
can keep as much as possible.
Right. So, how often do you use your drone to go out and photograph?
Oh
And
man,
but you do it a lot,
I had been doing it a lot until we have a baby. He's
right?
5 months
Right.
old.
Okay.
So the last five
Congratulations. That's
months,
great.
thank
Yeah.
you. It's been
Good.
nice, but I have not been out flying the drone.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I had my 107 and just need to get it renewed. And so now that I'm back out of the early baby stage, we're kind of shifting back into moving again. So we'll see how it
Okay.
happens
Okay.
and let that
Yeah.
one happen naturally too.
Yeah. Sometimes I wish I had a drone because I love the coast of Georgia, and the marshlands and things like that. And I would love to take a drone in areas that I could go, because I think on the Jekyll Island, it's considered a state park, and
Yeah,
you can't do a drone on Jekyll Island.
right. You need to get a
Yeah.
certification or
Right.
an
And
approval for
so it's
some of
like,
that.
okay. But there's Brunswick, St. Simons, and stuff like that. And just
Hmm.
going places where you just can't really get to unless you took a kayak out or something. And
Yeah.
so I thought, well, hey, if I had a drone and had a pretty decent camera on it, then maybe I could fly the drone and take some pictures. And then I thought, okay, well, how much is that going to cost me, and how often would I use it, kind of thing.
Yeah,
So
man.
to capture, and it might be worth it to capture that one photo that I turn into a painting that I might sell for thousands of dollars, and then it'd all be worth it, right, Jay? So
Yeah.
yeah,
As long as it paid for it in the upgrades.
that's right, that's right. That would be the goal. Yeah,
Yeah.
get it paid for. Yeah, cool. The next couple pictures here that we're going to show, beautiful, beautiful photography here, and I didn't want to put both of them on the same screen because I didn't want it to take away from the size. Okay, talk a little bit about this, where it's at. Who's that? Who's that young man there with
And
you?
that young man is my oldest. He's much
Okay,
taller now. He's close to eye level. It's crazy
okay,
to see it. But this is that same trip from the portrait landscape where we were down on the other side, and
okay.
he's got his own little camera. But I think for you had a picture that was something like a picture of you in the studio or you in the office, and this is the closest thing that I could find.
Yeah, yeah,
It's just me
yeah.
and him out, and my
That's
wife was across the way, and just so happened to snag
not a
this one.
problem. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it's great. I love it. Yeah. Is
yeah.
he giving you pointers, or are you giving him pointers there? Excuse me.
I honestly, I think it was a little bit of both because he had an idea that we ran with, and I was showing him a thing, and he started asking me some questions and then giving me input. But I then, like right after I took this shot, I gave him the camera and let him just play up and down right there. And his
Okay.
pictures, even from that spot, are really nice. But the one, he's got a really nice memory from this spot too
Oh yeah.
on his wall. It's
Oh
really
yeah.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful. Looks like a lake down on the left side of the photo in the distance there, some type of big lake. And I love the snow, the mountains on the left too, clouds covering portions of the mountains. I'm sure it
It
was
was a
just an
beautiful day.
awesome, yeah, beautiful, beautiful day.
Very beautiful
Yeah,
day.
beautiful day, beautiful day. All right.
Hmm.
This is a cool one too. Yeah.
This one. This one is out near uh, Chico, Montana, Paradise Valley in
Okay.
Montana, like southern end of the range, close to Yellowstone. This is actually where my friends stay. It's their neighborhood. This is like their backyard almost. Like
Oh, you're
you,
kidding.
you know,
Really?
not at all. So
Oh, wow.
that's Immigrant Peak, and they live really close to it. And I shot a wedding up on top of that one. That like we hiked the whole mountain for a wedding, and
Wow.
they hunt this. This is a part of like their livelihood culture. It's like a big, just life thing for them. So
So different from being in
yeah.
Macon, Georgia or Jacksonville, Florida, right? I
Oh
mean,
man, yeah.
goodness gracious.
There's been
Yeah.
plenty of things that they've got me out there doing that I just would have never
Yeah.
never done.
Great friends to have. You
Yeah,
think about it. Yeah.
yeah. But
Keep that relationship nourished, man. I tell you what, so you can have you back out there in the future. So yeah.
yeah, yeah, and they've almost inundated into the family. You know, they really
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Yeah.
it's going out to see them and experience them, and they're just a part of this beautiful place. But it's
Yeah.
more them than the place.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
my the friend of mine who I was seeing in middle school, and then like we met back up. Um, we had just he was also working through a different thing at the time, and my stepdad he had had cancer for 5 years and didn't hadn't said anything to anybody. And I went out there on this trip and had been dealing with the back and forth between the hospital. He ended up in a hospital, and of course, trying to play this back and forth game whether I should go home or not. And I ended up staying the whole trip, just talking to him at first, but then it just shifted, and I was back and forth with family. But the day that I was leaving, I shot this with a 50 millimeter lens, which I didn't typically use for landscapes. I was hanging out the side of my friend's Jeep when I went to go and take the picture because I knew that we were around in the corner. And I got a call from the doctor like at the same time. And he pretty much told me that I wasn't going to make it home before he passed away.
Mm.
And I was taking this picture at the same time. So
Wow.
it
How
was the
about
last
that?
shot that I had from the trip.
Yeah.
I named it Grateful
Mm.
Sorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just, it's more of a memento of a lot of the lessons and things that he had taught me. He was one of the positive experiences in my life that really helped not just push me forward, but kept me grounded. He was,
Right.
everybody has their own set of things, but he
That's true.
definitely
Yeah.
did everything that he could. And, we weren't his blood children, and he still took care of us as if, it just didn't matter. He
Yeah.
really did show us a lot of love.
Yeah.
So,
That's good.
yeah.
That's good. Wow. Powerful.
Yeah, a few things in that one.
All righty. We're getting in some of these
All
unique
right.
photos. All right. The
Yeah,
mask.
these are
The veil.
the veil. These are some from the veil. This one on the left here, I actually just went down to Florida to finish up some personal things, and this is one of the ones that is newer to the series that I've continued to keep working through, and Yeah, I don't have this one printed and framed, but the overall moment itself was really, really nice. It's hard to not talk about the things that we were both dealing with, but I
Right.
try and keep that under wrap because I don't know how much the model cares for those things to be
Oh yeah,
talked about to
yeah.
that
I
detail. But
understand. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, we were both working through, again, something really intense. I was kind of on an upswing and feeling a little bit more positive about myself and just how things were working out and going through life. And she was at a point where she was needing a little bit of a spring. And that's essentially where we came up with this one. She did a really great job just embodying different portions of her own feelings and then talking through them. We kind of landed on some spots where, it was very dynamic range of a shoot. We probably did 3 or 4 outfit changes,
Hmm.
and I have probably 20 or so from that are serious contenders for what I am going to be printing and writing about. Because a lot of these I write, uh, I wouldn't say poetry, but I write things to them as well, like
Okay.
little
Okay.
synopsis of things that I'm dealing with.
Okay. That's good. Yeah.
Yeah, this one on the right is in the
Uh,
show. This will be the one that it's not there yet, but I'll be putting this one up in October.
okay.
This one's
Okay.
I Am Me, and it was the precipice of the veil was getting to the spot where I just wasn't showing myself a great amount of love, and I didn't know how to for some time. I didn't know that I wasn't for some time. And as I continued to work through the things that I was feeling, the ending of that section of the exhibit, at least for me shooting, that's where I landed was I am me and essentially accepting myself as I am, accepting that I could love myself, accepting that there's a lot of things that happened that weren't my fault, how much I was holding on to the shame and blame and guilt of all of those things kind of came out at this shoot where none of it mattered as much anymore. I remember smiling a lot through the shoot, and I
Hmm.
remember her smiling a lot through the shoot. I actually shot it with a second photographer, and it was the same studio that I started shooting with. I ended the exhibit with, and it was a big deal to me. So I have another one that's called I Am Here, and she's like the owner of the studio. This one is I Am Me, and she's one of the instructors at that studio, and they're very similar in ways, except when I thought I Am Here, it was a little bit more superficial for me,
Hmm.
where I was trying to show up for myself but wasn't. But again, once I got to this spot where we were at the precipice of it all, it was more that I was understanding more how much I didn't understand before, and really showing up for myself. It was really
Yeah.
nice.
It's good. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, have you write about these photos,
Yeah.
right?
I have some I didn't send it or anything, but I definitely could like pull it up really quick. But some of the
Hmm.
synopsis or
Hmm.
the things that I've been writing, I think
Hmm.
on the next slide, there's one that's red called Brilliance, but I have one for Brilliance.
Okay.
Yeah. I have
Yeah.
one for the one on the right, not the one
Right.
on the left.
Is this something that because you'll write about each one of these photos, right, and what's going on and what you're feeling and experiencing? Uh, have you thought about putting all this into some type of book form?
I've been told that it's a good move.
Uh-huh.
I promise you, as much as I might seem like I have a plan, I don't.
Just let it happen if it happens,
Yeah,
right?
I'm
I love
really
it.
just
Yeah,
riding the
I
wave, and
got you.
when I've met
Yeah,
people, if
yeah.
they shoo me along that way, then yeah, like you saying it now, you're probably the fourth or fifth person that
Okay,
has mentioned
okay.
something about a book. So I've been considering it, but I don't know what that looks like. at all.
Yeah, I mean, you put it on that list, have that whiteboard over there in the corner that has those things on it. It's like, hey, one day, or this is some projects that I'd like to do. And as you continue to take photos like this and have a larger collection, and you write about them, maybe things will just start to fall into place of, wow, I'm just going to throw out a number, 30 of these type photos and stories and experiences, and feelings behind them, because I think they would be very beneficial to others that might have experienced some of the same things you have experienced. Okay. The one that there was something you said there about, we all make mistakes in life, right? We all have done stupid, crazy things, some of which we're not too fond of. Some we're like, hey, I was just a young kid or whatever, made mistakes. And sometimes we have a tendency, some people do, to hold on to those things, and it holds them back, right?
Yeah.
That, oh, I didn't do this right, or I offended this person, or I did some stupid things, I had stupid thought, or whatever. But that's just part of life, the way I look at it. And it, what did I learn from it?
That.
What did I learn from it? And I'm not the same person I was 20 years ago, or 30 years ago, or yesterday, for that
Right.
matter,
Yeah,
right? And I'm
exactly.
not going to be the same person tomorrow that I am today. And talking with people, of what you've experienced in other people, of realizing things as human beings, that we experience as human beings. And I think everybody struggles with certain things from time to time at certain points in their life, and know that it's okay. And it's okay to get help if you need help, right?
Yeah.
Therapy, whatever, talk to somebody, get it out, be honest and open, and everything. But I'm just thinking about, I think it's, put it on your chart,
Yeah.
put it
Yeah.
on the list, because I think it would be very beneficial,
I
if you put
appreciate that.
something like that together. And there's things that you could do yourself, in putting it together. I mean, there's all kinds of websites you can go to, because I created a a little portfolio book of some of my artwork a couple of years ago. And you could, I think with that particular site, you could add a whole lot more to that painting and give more. I could have done a better job of describing where it's at and all this kind of stuff. And you could probably do something like that, with this, is you got your picture, you got it uploaded, and then you upload all those things that you were experiencing, and you've got it documented. Even
Yeah.
if you just did it for yourself in a book form,
Yeah,
you've
man, you're
got
not
it,
wrong.
you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because there's a couple of the pieces have moved, and
Mhm.
as they've moved, I find myself not needing to, but feeling the thought to look back at them, and they're not there. And so there's a weird letting go that, at the forefront, it's really easy in this case to let it go, but then
Yeah.
after the after effect of it, it's like, oh man, now I have to learn to not rely on looking at that to work through the thought the same way. I
Yeah.
have to, yeah. But it would be nice to have it in a spot that I could still access it and think through
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's kind of a history. It's kind of a way for some people maybe to show progress that's made,
Yeah.
a timeline of things that I might have dealt with. Or maybe it's over a 2 or 3 or 4 year, 5 year period or something, but it's documented and you see the growth. It's like with art and being a painter. A lot of us, we look back in 5 years ago and we look at something we painted and it's because, oh my gosh, I can't believe I painted that. That looks so
Yeah,
terrible.
photos are the same. Photos are the same.
That sucks, man. It's terrible. It's like, I can't believe I painted that. I gave that to so and so, or whatever. But you see how far you've come, you know, by going back. And then maybe that's some advice to everybody out there, is just hold on to that and go back periodically and look and show how much you've improved, how much you've gotten better, how much you've progressed
or
over a
even just
time
seeing
period.
where you were mentally.
Yeah,
Because
exactly,
man, that
exactly. Yeah.
the the looking back at them has given me a bookmark of mentally where I was, and I know that
Uh-huh.
those things aren't the same today, and it's just
Yeah.
that has helped so much. So,
Yeah.
definitely agree with you there.
Yeah. We'll talk a little bit about these two here. Let's talk about the one on the left there.
Yeah, the one on the left is called Bound. I didn't write much about this one. There's a sister one to it called It's Please, where the model is holding the mesh that's kind of wrapped up, and I and the feeling of both of them together is pretty intense. But Please starts with this idea that's like uh, it's not positive, it's not negative, because please can be used indifferently,
Mm-hmm.
and I left that up to interpretation, but it leads into this. So where she's holding all of this stuff in the middle of her lap, then it's just like sprawled everywhere. But it felt more like tied down, and it reminded me
Mm-hmm.
of just feeling how tied down to the way things were going in the past. Just different. There's different portions of life that felt trapped in such a way that just felt like I was bound
Mm-hmm.
to deal with, bound to a future, and none of it, none of it was true. And
Yeah.
a big part of this piece, Bound, was me working through how tired I felt
Mm-hmm.
to eventually feel like I'm letting it go.
Mm-hmm.
And also, the model, phenomenal, just also very, very wide dynamic range. Just, I think with her, we had probably about 7 or 8 outfit changes through that whole shoot, and also gave very, very great and valuable input. And she herself helped me through very specific things that were happening that she had also experienced, that we got to talk through. And she was just open to talking about them, because it's also tough, um, truthfully, to be male and shoot a female in this manner consistently, and to talk about such things without working through how we feel about just one human to the next first.
Right.
And she was so easy to work with and helped me to feel at ease myself. And I could tell, I think both of us could tell that we had dealt with a lot
Mm-hmm.
when the shoot started. So
Mm-hmm.
she was probably, I may be working with her again soon. So
Oh, good, good.
yeah.
A thought came to mind, and you were talking about this, and not to delve into a whole lot of psychology and stuff like that. I'm not a psychologist or anything like that, but we're talking a little bit about there's things that bind us, things that kind of hold us, or we feel tight, wrapped around us. Maybe it's those things, as we talked a little bit earlier, our faults and weaknesses and mistakes and things like that. How how have you been able to kind of and have and talking with other people too, is to break free from that, is to cut those cords, cut those things that bind you, and let them fall away, and rise above that.
Oh, a lot of it, truthfully, I it's allowing the things that I'm afraid of to happen
Mm,
without me trying to intervene, as a form of protection, self-preservation, or want. I have to let go.
mm-hmm.
And every shoot helped me to, this stuff is scary to talk about. There's
I mean, if it's too difficult to talk about it, we don't have
well,
to, but
no, it's not so much that, but like currently there's so much about trafficking in the media. There's so much fear
right,
around speaking about it. So
right,
I had a fear, and have had a, it's just nerve wrecking, but a
yeah,
part of it is pushing through. Like even in this
right,
conversation, there's parts of it that I would not choose to not talk about. I'm going to talk about it, but
Yeah.
they're scary still.
I got
But
you.
me talking about it is essentially every conversation is a cutting of the cord, cutting of the cord in a different spot. And if it wasn't for people being receptive and actually listening, but also me taking responsibility for somebody else's space and actually listening, the cord can't be cut. It just won't.
Right.
It doesn't
Right.
happen.
Gotcha.
So it's taught me to listen a little bit more, not to
Yeah.
just myself, but the people around me. And it's taught me to pay more attention to things as they happen. And as that's happened, it's really just, it doesn't feel like I'm tied the same way. I don't feel that weight or that restriction the same way, if it makes any sense.
Yeah, it does. It does. It totally does. Thank you. Thank you for going there. Okay. Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about the one on the right here. The thing that I agree that when I first saw your work there a couple of weeks or so ago, you look at the model and the position that they're in, and then all of a sudden you see the mask and how the mask is positioned on the head. You know, it's almost like they're this strange contortionist kind of person, you know, of how that is. But this is a kind of a unique picture and piece. So.
Yeah, this one's called Brilliance. It's I had worked with her multiple times, and with all of these masks, none of them are photoshopped, and I'm not flipping the mask later. Every one of them is wearing the mask as you see it. I don't. Yeah, it's all happening as we are shooting.
Gotcha. Right.
But I had worked with her before, and she actually is the most fun visually to have shot with, but she's also the one through this that almost felt more like a sister to me. And every time I'm in Florida, she's a contortionist. She teaches. She's an instructor as well. And in Florida, every time I get to go, I try to schedule something with her, because it's also like I'm investing into her as much as she's investing into me.
Right.
And so it's that one.
True.
That actually, if you give me a second, I do have that one. That's the one that I was talking about that I wrote about.
Okay. Yeah, if you'd like to share what you wrote, that'd be perfect. I was just impressed with the beauty of the mask, because as we talked earlier, they're a piece of art in themselves. You know, I mean, this person that created these are just unbelievable how beautiful they are. And this, folks, I'm encouraging you again, go down to Theater Macon, check out the artwork, purchase some artwork. I call it artwork, some photography, because it's a piece of art. Okay. It's not a landscape painting, but it's a piece of art. Okay. And the mask itself, and when I saw them, they were just, the creativity behind them, the colors that were used, the materials that were used. I mean, this person is very talented who created these masks. So, yeah,
it really is.
But anyway, all right. Did you find that what you wrote? If you want to share it with everybody. Perfect.
So, and this is kind of how some of them have gone.
Okay.
But this one is Brilliance. It says, curious feelings flow from my heart, where the red of a flame and the red of a rose aren't red the same. A story as red as the ink that I bleed, remnants of a thought that first struck my veins. A petal violently plucked, then built into a frame. Every season, every struggle, every trial, kindling to the beauty of a bursting flame. And that's probably one of the shorter ones, but a lot of them have synopsis that are like that, or something that's almost poetic, but it expresses how I felt about what was happening at that time.
Right. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you sharing all this and being vulnerable enough and humble enough to, share this with everybody. Yeah, it's been great. Beautiful work.
I appreciate it.
Thank you. Yeah, for doing that. I want to bring us back up here so everybody can see our beautiful faces.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what's next? What's next on
Well,
the horizon?
I think that I would like to. I'm working on getting my certification back for my drone because I would
Okay.
like to keep that going. And
Okay.
like I've been doing YouTube channel things, like it's one of those. I feel like if you're really going to have a career as an artist, you have to accept. And these days, you have to accept that you're just going to be multifaceted. You're going to have to
Right.
do multiple things. So I'm learning the business part of it,
Uh-huh.
which is kind of difficult because I don't like that part of me of
Most of us artists
it.
don't. You know, we
Yeah,
just want to
it's a bit of
create. Leave me
right.
alone. Let me paint or take
Exactly.
photos and create. Yeah.
But there's some beautiful people that I've gotten to meet or have an opportunity that I'm about to get to meet
All right.
here in Macon, and so I'm going to keep the series going because
Good.
I um, I just need to continue to work on who I am,
Yeah.
and I don't have a therapist. I've kind of used this as therapy.
Uh-huh.
I'm
I can't believe you don't have a therapist.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Because I was
every
going to
time.
ask you maybe off camera, who's your therapist? But yeah,
No,
it's
man,
like,
I
wow,
so every
can't
time
believe
I've
it.
tried to look, everybody has a very long waiting list type thing, and it's an unfortunate spot to be in. So I just start working. I start working. I start painting, or I start drawing, or I start keeping up with the photos. I set the next shoot up, and
Gotcha.
so until I can maybe look for some other means, this has been my therapy. So I'm definitely
Well,
gonna keep doing it.
uh, do we'll talk offline too, but do because art, photography, things like that are very therapeutic. It has been for me. And I'm reading a book right now, Your Brain on Art, and learning a lot about how our brains function and how they react to the arts. I'll just say art, not art, but arts with plural there. But because you look at photography as I look at that as an art, you look at even music, theater, things of that nature, and how our brains allow us as we experience those things to be more creative and deal with certain issues that are going on in our life. And I know some people that uh, deal with children, especially in art therapy, and how it allows children, especially, to express themselves in a nonverbal way. Excuse me. Um, because it's hard sometimes for a child to articulate what they've experienced, the trauma. Excuse me. But
It's so
yeah,
interesting that you are talking about that specifically. A big part of it has, so I was tinkering around and creating things at a pretty early age, and I know the benefit that it had for me because I can think back to it. So now my
right.
son is, he's art everything, but I actually just met with Aaron Hawkes a bit ago, talking about the summer camp
Okay.
thing that that they have going on. So I won't get into details of that because I don't quite know it enough to express it eloquently. But it's it would be really nice to help, especially kids, get to a spot where they could express just anything that they're dealing with, and it doesn't have to be something that everybody understands, and it can
Right.
still be a form of expression to get that stuff out. I
Yeah.
almost feel like it's just like tears. Like sometimes you need the tears to fall in order to work through the feeling, and art is very much a creative outlet to get the tears to fall, if
Yeah.
not physically.
Yeah. I love that. We all need a good cry every now and then,
Yeah,
you know, and laughter as well.
yeah.
There's a lot of therapy in laughter. Um, but yeah, your brain on art. I'm just eating that book up right now. I mean, I've got
I have
probably
to check it out.
3 or 4 books I'm reading, but that's one of them. Yeah, check it out for sure. Really goes into a lot of things that our brains deal with and how the arts influence us. Even colors influence us. But yeah, it's quite interesting.
Yeah.
Um, well, I'm happy for you. Have you had any shows yet at the Macon Arts Alliance?
No, I haven't. My connections haven't dropped me all the way into that yet, but I think that maybe if I knock a little bit, we'll see what happens.
Reach out to Jeannie Lane Sheridan, the new curator there at the Making Arts of Lunch. Shout out to Jeannie Lane, good friend of mine, fellow artist. She's got things pretty much booked into, I think, next year. But
Oh, wow. Okay.
talk to her, because I think your show and having your art there would be fabulous. All the mask photos and stuff like that. And one of the things, and I don't know if you're doing this at the theater making, is if you had a QR code for each little photo that
Okay.
somebody scanned it could bring up on their phone what you wrote about that.
Oh,
Yeah.
solid idea. No,
Yeah.
I haven't, but I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
That's
Because that
really
way they could, to learn the story behind the photo, something, scan the QR code and boom, it opens up and it's like, oh my gosh, read this, that kind of thing. Yeah. Just an idea. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that.
Yeah, sure. All right. We're going to kind of wrap up here a little bit. Anything else you'd like to share with us today, Jay?
No, man, I think I've talked about myself enough. It's kind of puke-worthy, but I think that we accomplished it.
I tell you, you've done great. I mean, I've learned so much. And as I mentioned to you before, I've got about 4 little questions I shared with Jaey Fawkes. He knows one of the questions, so he's prepped. All right. First one. What's your favorite holiday and why?
Okay, so I don't celebrate holidays, but we do celebrate the memorial of Jesus' death.
Okay.
It was the Passover, then the memorial, but that's it.
Okay. Oh, well, good for you. All right. What's your favorite color and why? Do you have a favorite color?
Blues, just different shades of blue. Yeah. I couldn't tell you why. It's always been blue.
I'm blue.
Yeah.
Different
I
shades
feel like
of blue,
if people saw me dressed, they'd think that it was gray. I always have gray.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. If you could have a superpower, what would it be?
Oh, flight. I would love to fly.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Something simple enough, but see the world.
I have dreams about flying through the sky sometimes.
Same.
Somebody tell me what that means.
Yeah, hopefully
maybe I don't want to
falling.
know. Yeah, really. Last but not least, if you had a dream studio, what would it look like for your photography and art?
I think it would have a spot to shoot and a spot to display and blank walls, just blank walls in a spot, nothing, just absolutely nothing.
Okay.
That way I can actually jump into whatever's happening in there, but nothing anywhere. Just a curved wall, take away the shadows all the way around, just domed out. Yeah.
I like that. That's good. Jay, thank you so much for being on the podcast today.
Victor, I
really
appreciate
enjoyed it. Yeah, it's been great. Folks, I'm going to share with everybody in the show notes or description contact information. We've got his website, Instagram, YouTube, all that kind of good stuff. If you'll share with me the guy that creates the mask,
I'll send it
just
to you.
Send it to me, name and maybe his Instagram account, that kind of thing. So folks can go check that out. Maybe follow him as well. But thanks everybody for tuning in to another episode of Artist Stories in Middle Georgia. Really appreciate all your support. If you're out on YouTube watching this, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And if you're on Facebook, become a friend, follower, that kind of thing, because we don't want you to miss out on future content. But take care, everybody, and we'll catch you in the next episode. Bye now.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Artist Stories of Middle Georgia. We really appreciate our audience and would love to hear about other artist stories you'd like for us to share. Please email us or leave a comment. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Please like and subscribe.